Tania Gleave. It is a great privilege to honor one of British Columbia's best contemporary jewelers, Tania Gleave. With training from Capilano College and Emily Carr, Tania has developed a signature look of wearable art, jewelry that is confident and bold. Tania, too, had her creative roots at an early age, salvaging the copper wire around the newspapers she delivered at age 8 and combining the wire with glass beads to make chokers, rings, and bracelets. Today, she is known around the world for going to the source to find her components: sapphires and tourmalines from Sri Lanka, ebony and horn bone from Bali, and variety of stones from Jaipur. Her Canadian roots and her travels around the world have informed her spectacular creations: Angola, Antarctica, Chile, Vietnam, Indonesia, Norway, and northern Canada. Tania has shown her work in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Washington State, and here in Vancouver. As an example of Tania's reach, she designed a collection in collaboration with Toronto designer for the 2014 Toronto Fashion Week. We are pleased to recognize Tania today, and I would encourage you to visit her studio on Granville Island with or without your spouse. Minister Oakes, I present Tania Gleave.
You just hold it straight up like so. Keith, want to just get in a little closer?
That's when you need your speech back.
Yes.
Thank you. "1973 was a big year. I was 8. That was the year my grandmother took me to visit a friend of hers in London, England, who happened to be a well-known artist. Her studio was a cavernous, spotless white cube with a single table in the center. The table was covered in dozens of brightly painted bits of paper that appeared to be laid out in all kinds of interesting patterns. As we left the studio, I asked my grandmother if coloring and painting was actually that lady's job. She said yes, and I honestly didn't believe her. Ridiculous. That same heavyweight year, I began cutting and twisting the copper wires that secured the bundles of the province newspaper that were unloaded at my parents' back door before I went off to school. I twisted the wires with my father's needle-nose pliers into various Calderesque shapes, curly cues, and very 1970s edgy bits. I'm now 49. For the record, whoever came up with the theory that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, I'm living proof that they've been wildly optimistic. It takes some longer than others to believe a life in art is possible. In the words of a very, very venerated song master, Jerry Garcia, it's been a long, strange trip. I've met the most fabulous, supportive people along the way, which is how I got to be here today and why you're here. I'd like to say thank you to the BC Creative Achievement Foundation, Joseph Wask, Sam Carter. I'd like to say thank you to the Foundation's Board of Directors, the jury, and my fellow designers and makers. I'm delighted to be part of a province that honors artistic expression in this way. Thank you for the gift of this important milestone in the journey.